song of the Viking who became the sky. I became the sky when I died on the mountain of the north. The fourth of my spirit is a blue. I cover the fjord and the forest and the sea of my home. The Viking who became the sky, the fall. Oh, my daughter looks up at me. She sees the clouds and the sun. The one who was her father is a blue. She does not know that I am the weather of her life. The Viking who became the sky, the ride. I rain on the crops of my people. I water the fields of the north. Of my love is a storm. I bring the rain and the snow and the sun to the land of my birth. The Viking who became the sky, the earth. Last winter I snowed on the grave of my wife of old. The cold of my touch was a blanket. I covered her stone with the white of my frozen tears. The Viking who became the sky, the I have seen the ships of the Vikings sail over the fjord of my home. Of their wakes is a dance. I am the sky that watches them from above in the blue. The Viking who became the sky, the true. I am the wind that fills the sails of my sons, long ship of the north. The fourth of his journey is a breeze. I push him to the shores of the enemy and bring him home. The Viking who became the sky, the fall. So if you look up at the sky and see a cloud that looks like a man's face, do not look away. The grace of the Viking inside is that he wants to watch over you. From the blue of the north, the Viking who became the sky, the worth. Sky Viking, blue of the air, he watches the world from his throne up there. He reigns, he shines, he has no lines. The sky Viking, the sun. The shield maiden of the singing blood. My blood sings, it hums in my veins, a tune of the old war. I was a shield maiden, I had a scar of am a song that flows through my body with every beat of my heart. The shield maiden of the singing blood, the art. A witch sang to my blood when I was in the womb of my mother. The other of her voice was a spell. My blood remembers the tune of the witch and it sings forever. The shield maiden of the singing blood, the tether. In battle, my blood sings louder, it drums in my ears a song of the fight. The light of my veins is a rhythm, I swing my axe to the beat of my own blood of the north. The shield maiden of the singing blood, the fourth. Last winter I was wounded, my blood sang a note of sorrow on the snow. The glow of my stain was a note, the enemy heard it and wept before I struck them down. The shield maiden of the singing blood, the low. My crew hears my blood in the quiet of the night. They sleep to its tune. The moon of my veins is a lullaby. They have never been afraid because my blood sings them peace. The shield maiden of the singing blood, the least. The witch who cursed me is dead. My blood will never stop its song. The thrum of my veins is a choir. I will carry the tune of the witch in my blood until the end. The shield maiden of the singing blood, the friend. So if you see a warrior whose blood sings a note when she's cut in the field, do not stand still. The yield of her song is a curse. You will hear the tune of her blood and forget your own name. The shield maiden of the singing blood, the flame. The drop of dew on the leaf of an oak in the forest of the north. I was a child, I went forth in battle. Now I am a bead of water that glints in the sun of the morning. The child who is a drop of dew. Turn me into this when I spilled her morning drink. She said, you will be the link of the dawn. You will fall from the leaves and be drunk by the roots of the trees. The child who is a drop of dew, the seas. I have been on 100 leaves. I have seen the forest grow and die. The light of my own glory is a shade. I'm a drop of dew that is born and dies with the sun. The jar who drop of dew, the pond. Last summer a deer licked me from the leaf I was in its mouth. The sound of its tongue was a warmth I traveled through its gut and fell to the earth as a waste. The jarl who is a drop of dew, the haze. I became a mist in the morning. I rose from the ground. The fount of my existence is a cycle. I am the dew and the rain and the snow of the fjord. The jarl who is a drop of dew, the core. My journey is a circle. I fall and rise and fall again in the dance of the water. The jarl who is a drop of dew, the daughter. So if you see a drop of dew that glows with a light of its own in the dawn, do not drink it. The spawn of the jarl inside will make you thirsty forever for the dew of the north. The jarl who is a drop of dew, the worth. Dew jarl, drop of the dawn. He lives on the leaf and he is gone. He falls, he rises, he has no prizes. The dew jarl, the disguises. Figurehead whistle, it sings a tune of the sea and the wind. The thind of its voice is a warning. We are coming, the enemy hears us from the shore. The long ship of the whistling figurehead, the door. The figurehead was carved from the bone of a mermaid who died in a net. The debt of her life is a whistle. Her soul is trapped in the wood and she sings her sorrow. The long ship of the whistling figurehead, the borrow. Her whistle is a guide. She tells us where the rocks are in the fog. The heart of her voice is a prayer. We follow her tune and never strike the stone of the shore. The long ship of the whistling figurehead, the core. Last winter the figurehead stopped whistling. We were lost. The frost of her silence was a terror. We drifted for a week before she began to sing She had learned it from the wind of the north. The fourth of her voice was a song of the land. She led us to a shore of silver and gold. The long ship of the whistling figurehead, the whole. The mermaid's ghost is happy now. She has found a new song to sing. The ring of her whistle is a joy. She is no longer the lament of the net, but a guide of the sea. The long ship of the whistling figurehead, the key. So if you hear a figurehead that whistles a tune on the prow of a ship, do not let the slip of your attention. The mermaid inside will guide you to treasure or to death in the waves. The long ship of the whistling figurehead, the sails.
Whistling figurehead, mermaids cry. The long ship sails with a song of the sky. She whistles, she guides, she has no hides. The whistling figurehead, the tide.
The Viking, who was a breath of air. I am a breath of air in the lungs of a child in the fjord. I was a Viking, I had a sword of glory. Now I am the wind that fills the chest of the living and the dying. The Viking, who is a breath of air. The flying.
A witch turned me into this when I stole her breath of life. She said, you will be the strife of the living. You will enter and leave the lungs of all who breathe in the north. The Viking, who is a breath of air.
The worth. I am in the gasp of the warrior who falls in the battle of the field. I am the shield of his last moment. I am the air that leaves his chest and goes to the sky. The Viking, who is a breath of air. The wine.
Last winter I entered my daughter's lungs. She did not know the glow of my touch was a warmth. She coughed and I left her a breath of air in the cold. The Viking, who is a breath of air. Behold,
thousand throats of the north, the fourth of my journey is a circle. I am the air that is inhaled and exhaled forever. The Viking, who is a breath of air. The tether.
I am the wind that rustles the leaves of the oak of the fjord. The core of my existence is a breeze. I am the air of the sky and the lungs of the beast. The Viking, who is a breath of air. The feast.
So if you feel a breath of air that seems to linger in your throat too long, do not ignore the song of the Viking inside. He wants to speak to you from the lungs of your own chest. The Viking, who is a breath of air. The rest.
Breath, jaw, air of the lung. He speaks through the voice of the old and young. He breathes, he stays, he has no days. The breath, jaw, the mane. The rest.
Breath, jaw, air of the lung. He speaks through the voice of the old and young. He breathes, he stays, he has no days. The breath, jaw, the maze. The breath of air. The shield made an arm, the empty scabbard. My scabbard is empty, I have no sword to draw. I was a shield maiden, I had a law of steel. Now I am a sheep that hangs at my hip with nothing inside. The shield maiden of the empty scabbard, the tide. A witch stole my sword when I slept in the forest of the north. She sent it forth into the earth. I searched for it for 100 years and never found its blade of light. The shield maiden of the empty scabbard, the night. In battle I fight with a borrowed axe from a fallen man. The plan of my combat is a tool. I pick up a new weapon with every enemy I fell. The shield maiden of the empty scabbard, the help. Last winter a ghost came to me. He held my sword in his hand of bone. The tone of his voice was a whisper. I am the witch who stole your blade. Take it back. The shield maiden of the empty scabbard, the trap. I took my sword from the ghost, I slid it into my scabbard. The leather, the tether of my soul is a steel. I am whole again with my blade of the north at my side. The shield maiden of the empty scabbard, the guide. My sword remembers me. It hums in the scabbard of my hip. The grip of my hand is a reunion. I swing it in the next battle with the strength of a witch's regret. The shield maiden of the empty scabbard, the jet. So if you see a warrior with an empty scabbard at her hip in the field, do not think she has no shield of steel. The ghost of her sword will fly to her hand and cut your throat in the dark. The shield maiden of the empty scabbard, the spark. Empty scabbard, sheath of loss. The shield maiden's sword is the ghost of a cross. She waits, she fights, she has no life. The empty scabbard, the night. I am a scratch on the table of the jar's feast hall of oak. I was a jar, I had a cloak of ermine, now I am alive, that the servants scrub with their rags of wool. The jar who is a scratch on the table, the pool. A witch turned me into this when I carved my name in her chair. She said, you will be the heir of the table, you will mark every board you touch with a trace of your knife. The jar who is a scratch on the table, the life. The new jar leads over me, his meat drips in my line of wood. The good of his feast is a stain, I absorb the drops and grow darker each year of his reign. The jar who is a scratch on the table, the pain. Last winter a child traced me with her finger. She asked her mother. The other of the table said it is a scratch from a knife of a man who lived long ago. The jar who is a scratch on the table, the glow. The mother told the child my story. I was a jar who lost his way. The day of my fall is a legend I a scratch that reminds the children of the old kings. The jar who is a scratch on the table, the strings. I have grown deeper with the years. The new jar carved a rune on the table. The fable of my mark is a holy carved over me, and I am a scratch within a rune of the North. The jar who is a scratch on the table, the four. So if you see a scratch on a table that looks like the face of a man in the wood, do not carve over it. The flood of the jar's curse will make your knife slip and carve a line across your own hand. The jar who is a scratch on the table, the sand. Scratch jar, line of oaky marks the table where the old king spoke. He fades, he stays, he has no days. The scratch jar, the maze. Scratch jar, line of oaky marks the table where the old king spoke. He fades, he stays, he has no days. The scratch jar, the maze. It groans with the weight of 100 years of voyages, the stages of its sorrow are the journeys we have taken. It remembers every storm, the longship of the sobbing keel, the form.
The keel was cut from a tree that witnessed a battle of the old kings. The strings of its wood are a history. It holds the memory of the blood spilled on the forest floor. The longship of the sobbing keel, the door.
The keel weeps water, the sea seeps into its grain. The rain of its sobbing is a leak, we bail the water, and we know it is the grief of the wood. The longship of the sobbing keel, the stood.
Last winter the keel split open, we had to repair it with iron. The siren of its sobbing was a wail. We wrapped the iron bands around its sorrow and held it tight. The longship of the sobbing keel, the fight.
The keel has come, the iron has silenced its sobbing of the past. The cast of its wood is a metal, it is a keel of iron oak that will never weep again. The longship of the sobbing keel, the den.
We missed the sobbing of the keel, it was our lullaby on the sea. The key of our journey is a silence, we sail in a quiet that is empty of the old song of the wood. The longship of the sobbing keel, the good.
So if you hear a keel that sobs like a child in the night of the sea, do not mock it. The plea of the wood is a memory, it is a tree that remembers the axemen who felled it long ago. The longship of the sobbing keel, the woe.
Sobbing keel, weeping wood, the longship carries the tree's own mood. It groans, it leaks, it has no peak.
I am a rusted nail in the hull of a long ship that sank long ago. I was a Viking, I had a glow of glory. Now I am a spike of red that holds a plank to a frame of the deep. The Viking who is a rusted nail asleep. A witch turned me into this when I nailed her shoes to the floor. She said, you will be the core of a rust. You will hold the wood of the ships together and corrode in the salt. The Viking who is a rusted nail of all. Seabed, the fish swim over me, and the waves roll above the love of my curse is a stillness. I have not moved in 100 years of the tide. The Viking who is a rusted nail, the hide. Last winter a diver found me. She pulled me from the wood. The good of her touch was a light. She put me in a pouch and brought me to the surface of the air. The Viking who is a rusted nail, the care. She gave me to a blacksmith. He heated me in a forge. The gorge of his fire was a heat. I turned bright and he hammered me into a knife of the north. The Viking who is a rusted nail before. I am a knife now. I cut the bread of the blacksmith's family. The vanity of my old glory is a memory. I am a tool of the living now, not a nail in the grave. The Viking who is a rusted nail, the same. So if you find a rusted nail that glows with a red light in the dark, do not keep it. The mark of the Viking inside will turn into a knife that cuts your hand in the night. The Viking who is a rusted nail, the bite.
Rusted nail, red of age, he lives in the ships of a bygone page. He rusts, he stays, he has no days. The rusted nail,
the maid. The shield maiden of the withered hand. My hand is withered, it curls like a claw of a bird of prey. I was a shield made my fingers are bent. The shield maiden of the withered hand, the rent.
A witch withered my hand when I refused to hold her cup. She said, "You will not be up to the battle. Your hand will wither and you will never swing an axe again." The shield maiden of the withered hand, the rain.
In battle I tie my withered hand to the handle of my shield. The field of my defense is a strap. I hold my shield with my claw and fight with my other hand of steel. The shield maiden of the withered hand, the wheel.
Last winter a healer said she could cut off my withered hand. The brand of her knife was a cure. I refused. My withered hand is a part of me I will not lose. The shield maiden of the withered hand, the choose.
My withered hand is feeling, it tingles when the enemy is near. The fear of my hand is a warning, it knows the approach of danger before my eyes see it. The shield maiden of the withered hand, the seal. I have learned to use my withered hand as a distraction in the fight. The light of my enemies a focus on my claw. They stare at it and I strike from the side. The shield maiden of the withered hand, the hide. So if you see a warrior with a hand like a claw of a hawk in the field, do not think she will yield. Her withered hand will point at you and her other hand will cut your throat in the dark. The shield maiden of the withered hand, the spark. Withered hand, claw of bone. The shield maiden fights with a curse of her own. She points, she strikes, she has no spite. The withered hand, the pikes. I am a frayed thread on the tunic of the Jarl who took my place. I was a Jarl, I had a face that warriors feared. Now I am a loose end that dangles from his shoulder of wool. The Jarl who is a frayed thread, the pull. Turned me into this when I tore her spinning wheel. She said, "You will be the field of unraveling. You will come undone with every pull of the new Jarl's hand. The Jarl who is a frayed thread, the sand. The new Jarl tugs at me, I fray a little more with each pull. The love of my unraveling is a curse. I will become a on his tunic one day. The Jarl who is a frayed thread, the grey. Last winter the new Jarl's wife sewed me back. I held for a day. They say of a needle was a repair. I came undone again and frayed through the cloth. The Jarl who is a frayed thread, the moth. The Jarl who is a frayed thread, the moth. I frayed through the entire tunic. The new Jarl threw it away. The grey of his wardrobe is a loss. I lay on the floor in a pile of thread and wool. The Jarl who is a frayed thread, the pool. A Jarl who is a frayed thread, the pool. A servant picked me up, she braided me into a cord. The lord of a craft is a new life. I am a cord that holds a curtain in a cottage of the north. The Jarl who is a frayed thread, the fourth. So if you see a frayed thread that seems to twist on its own in the wind, do not pull it. The thin soul of the Jarl inside will unravel your tunic in two. A pile of thread on the floor.
The Jarl who is a frayed thread, the door. Frayed Jarl, loose end of wool. He dangles from the tunic of the fool. He frays, he snaps, he has no maps. The frayed Jarl, the gown. Frayed Jarl, loose end of wool. He dangles from the tunic of the fool. He frays, he snaps, he has no maps. The frayed Jarl, the gown.
Our long ship leaves a burning wake. The sea catches fire behind us. The fuzz of the flames is a warning. The enemy sees our trail of smoke and knows we are coming. The long ship of the burning wake, the drum. The wake is a curse from a sea witch who hated our Jarl. The pearl of her anger is a flame. The water burns behind us with a blue and orange glow. The long ship of the burning wake, the blow.
We cannot turn back. The burning wake follows us from stern to prow. The vow of our journey is a path of fire, of fire. We sail forward and burn the sea we have crossed. The long ship of the burning wake, the lost.
Last winter a ship followed our way.
It caught fire and sank.
The rank of our trail is a danger.
No one can sail
Behind us without burden. longship of the burning wake the thing. We have learned to use the burning wake as a weapon of war. The score of our enemies is a tally of the ships that have burned behind our trail of the north. The longship of the burning wake the fourth. The sea which is dead, the burning wake will never stop. The drop of our journey is an endless flame. We will sail forever on a sea of fire behind us. The longship of the burning wake the mob. So if you see a longship with a trail of fire on the sea behind its keel, do not follow it. The steel of its wake will burn your ship to the waterline of the ocean of the fjord. Longship of the burning wake the sword. Burning wake, trail of flame. The longship's path is a fiery name. It burns, it guides, it has no highs. The burning wake, the tide. The Viking who was a fleck of ash. I am a fleck of ash in the wind of the Jarl's funeral pyre. I was a Viking, I had the fire of battle in my veins. Now I am a black speck that floats over the fjord of my home. The Viking who is a fleck of ash. The foam. A witch turned me into this when I refused to burn her book. She said, you will be the look of the sky. You will float and drift and never land on the earth again. The Viking who is a fleck of ash. The rain. I have seen the world from a height of 1,000 birds. The birth of the wind are my language. I ride the currents of the north and the south of the sea. The Viking who is a fleck of ash. The key. Last winter I landed on my daughter's cheek. She wiped me off. The scarf of her breath was a gust. I flew away and landed on the shoulder of a passing wolf. The Viking who is a fleck of ash. The troll. The wolf shook me off. I landed in the snow of the high pass. The mass of the snow is my bed. I am a fleck of ash that will melt into the ground in the spring. The Viking who is a fleck of ash. The ring. I am a fleck fleck of ash in the earth, I am the nutrient of the flower. The hour of my rebirth is a bloom, I am the ash that feeds the rose of the northern slope.
The Viking who is a fleck of ash.
The whole So if you see a fleck of ash that moves against the wind of the sky, do not blow it. The cry of the Viking inside is that he wants to land on the earth and be part of the soil.
The Viking who is a fleck of ash.
The toil.
Ash fleck Viking, black and light. He floats on the wind of the long night. He drifts, he falls, he has no walls. The ash fleck Viking, the call. Ash fleck Viking, black and light. He floats on the wind of the long night. He drifts, he falls, he has no walls. The ash fleck Viking, the call.
My voice is cracked. It breaks like ice on the fjord in spring. I was a shield maiden. I could sing the songs of battle. Now my voice is a rasp of a crow that has lost its flock. The shield maiden of the cracked voice. The clock.
My voice when I sang a tune she claimed as hers. The curse of her jealousy is a grovel. I speak in a whisper of stone and of ash. The shield maiden of the cracked voice, the lash. In battle I roar with my cracked voice. The sound is a terror. The error of the enemy is to think I am weak. My broken tone frightens them more than a war cry. The shield maiden of the cracked voice, the sky. Last winter I shouted a command. The crack split the air. The glare of the enemy froze. They thought a giant was coming over the hill of the north. The shield maiden of the cracked voice, the foe. My crew has learned the rhythm of my cracks. They know the pattern. The tatter of my voice is a code. A crack means attack. Two cracks mean retreat in the field. The shield maiden of the cracked voice, the shield. Accepted my cracked voice. It is the sound of the fjord. The chord of my existence is a gravel song. I sing the anthem of the broken who still fight. The shield maiden of the cracked voice, the
shout. Do not try to figure it out. The shield maiden inside will crack your own voice to match your tone of the north. The shield maiden of the cracked voice. The fourth.
Crack voice, gravel tone. The shield maiden fights with a sound of stone. She breaks, she roars, she has no door. The crack voice, the
was a grain of sand.
I am a grain of sand on the shore where my longship sank. I was a jar, I had a rank of power. Now I am a speck that the tide washes over every day. The jarl who is a grain of sand. The grain. Turned me into this. When I spilled her hourglass, she said, you will be the mass of time. You will fall through the fingers of every hand that holds you. The jarl who is a grain of sand. The castles of children, the wild of their play is a joy. They build towers with me, and I fall when the waves come. The jarl who is a grain of sand. The
last winter a storm washed me into a crack of stone. The bone of the cliff is my home. I am a grain that will never be moved again by the tide. The jarl who is a grain of sand. The hide, I remember the weight of my axe, the heft of my crown of gold. The cold of my memory is a dream. I am a grain of sand that dreams of the sea and the ship. The jarl who is a grain of sand. The grip. A bird built a nest on the crack where I lie. I am in the mud, the flood of her beak is a touch. I am a grain of sand in the foundation of her eggs of blue. The jarl who is a grain of sand. The truth. So if you find a grain of sand that glows with a light of its own, do not throw it. The stone of the jarl inside is a curse that will make you sift through sand forever in your dreams. The jarl who is a grain of sand. The seams.
Sand jarl, speck of time, he falls through the fingers of the old rhyme. He shifts, he stays, he has no days. The sand jarl.
The maze.
song of the Viking who became the sky. I became the sky when I died on the mountain of the north. The fourth of my spirit is a blue. I cover the fjord and the forest and the sea of my home. The Viking who became the sky, the fall. Oh, my daughter looks up at me. She sees the clouds and the sun. The one who was her father is a blue. She does not know that I am the weather of her life. The Viking who became the sky, the ride. I rain on the crops of my people. I water the fields of the north. Of my love is a storm. I bring the rain and the snow and the sun to the land of my birth. The Viking who became the sky, the earth. Last winter I snowed on the grave of my wife of old. The cold of my touch was a blanket. I covered her stone with the white of my frozen tears. The Viking who became the sky, the I have seen the ships of the Vikings sail over the fjord of my home. Of their wakes is a dance. I am the sky that watches them from above in the blue. The Viking who became the sky, the true. I am the wind that fills the sails of my sons. Long ship of the north. The fourth of his journey is a breeze. I push him to the shores of the enemy and bring him home. The Viking who became the sky, the fall. So if you look up at the sky and see a cloud that looks like a man's face, do not look away. The grace of the Viking inside is that he wants to watch over you. From the blue of the north, the Viking who became the sky, the worth. Sky Viking, blue of the air, he watches the world from his throne up there. He reigns, he shines, he has no lines. The sky Viking, the sun. The shield maiden of the singing blood. My blood sings, it hums in my veins, a tune of the old war. I was a shield maiden, I had a scar of battle. Now I am a song that flows through my body with every beat of my heart. The shield maiden of the singing blood, the art. A witch sang to my blood when I was in the womb of my mother. The other of her voice was a spell. My blood remembers the tune of the witch and it sings forever. The shield maiden of the singing blood, the tether. In battle, my blood sings louder, it drums in my ears, a song of the fight. The light of my veins is a rhythm, I swing my axe to the beat of my own blood of the north. The shield maiden of the singing blood, the fourth.
Last winter I was wounded, my blood sang a note of sorrow on the snow. The glow
Of my stain was a note, the enemy heard it and wept before I struck them down.
the shield maiden of the singing blood,
The low. My crew hears my blood in the quiet of the night. They sleep to its tune. The moon of my veins is a lullaby. They have never been afraid because my blood sings them peace.
the shield maiden of the singing blood,
The least. The witch who cursed me is dead. My blood will never stop its song.
the throb
Of my veins is a choir. I will carry the tune of the witch in my blood until the end.
the shield maiden of the singing blood,
The friend.
So if you see a warrior whose blood sings a note when she's cut in the field, do not stand still. The yield of her song is a curse. You will hear the tune of her blood and forget your own name. The shield maiden of the singing blood,
The flame. The drop of dew on the leaf of an oak in the forest of the north. I was a child, I went forth in battle. Now I am a bead of water that glints in the sun of the morning. The child who is a drop of dew. The warning. A witch turned me into this when I spilled her morning drink. She said, you will be the link of the dawn. You will fall from the leaves and be drunk by the roots of the trees. The child who is a drop of dew, the seas.
I have been on 100 leaves. I have seen the forest grow and die. The light of my own glory is a shade. I'm a drop of dew that is born and dies. rises with the sun. The jar who is a drop of dew, the pun.
Last summer a deer licked me from the leaf I was in its mouth.
The south
Of its tongue was a warmth I traveled through its gut and fell to the earth as a waste.
The jar who is a drop of dew, the haze.
I became a mist in the morning. I rose from the ground.
The fount
Of my existence is a cycle. I am the dew and the rain and the snow of the fjord.
The jar who is a drop of dew, the core.
Drop of dew on the leaf of a new oak of the forest. The quest of my journey is a circle. I fall and rise and fall again in the dance of the water. The jewel who is a drop of dew, the daughter. So if you see a drop of dew that glows with a light of its own in the dawn, do not drink it. The spawn of the jar inside will make you thirsty forever for the dew of the north. The jar who is a drop of dew, the worth. Dew jar, drop of the dawn. He lives on the leaf and he is gone. He falls, he rises, he has no prizes. The dew jar, the disguises. Ship of the whistling figurehead, a figurehead whistle. It sings a tune of the sea and the wind. The thin of its voice is a warning. We are coming, the enemy hears us from the shore. The long ship of the whistling figurehead. The door. The figurehead was carved from the bone of a mermaid who died in a net. The debt of her life is a whistle. Her soul is trapped in the wood and she sings her sorrow. The long ship of the whistling figurehead. The borrow. Her whistle is a guide. She tells us where the rocks are in the fog. The heart of her voice is a prayer. We follow her tune and never strike the stone of the shore. The long ship of the whistling figurehead. The core. Last winter the figurehead stopped whistling. We were lost. The frost of her silence was a terror. We drifted for a week before she began to sing again. The long ship of the whistling figurehead, the den. She whistled a new tune, she had learned it from the wind of the north. The fourth of her voice was a song of the land. She led us to a shore of silver and gold. The long ship of the whistling figurehead, the whole. The mermaid's ghost is happy now. She has found a new song to sing. The ring of her whistle is a joy. She is no longer the lament of the net, but a guide of the sea. The long ship of the whistling figurehead, the key. So if you hear a figurehead that whistles a tune on the prow of a ship, do not let the slip of your attention. The mermaid inside will guide you to treasure or to death in the waves. The long ship of the whistling figurehead, the sails.
Whistling figurehead, mermaids cry. The long ship sails with a song of the sky. She whistles, she guides, she has no hides. The whistling figurehead, the tide.
The Viking, who was a breath of air. I am a breath of air in the lungs of a child in the fjord. I was a Viking, I had a sword of glory. Now I am the wind that fills the chest of the living and the dying. The Viking, who is a breath of air. The flying.
A witch turned me into this when I stole her breath of life. She said, you will be the strife of the living. You will enter and leave the lungs of all who breathe in the north. The Viking, who is a breath of air.
The words. I am in the gasp of the warrior who falls in the battle of the field. I am the shield of his last moment. I am the air that leaves his chest and goes to the sky. The Viking, who is a breath of air. The wine.
Last winter I entered my daughter's lungs. She did not know the glow of my touch was a warmth. She coughed and I left her a breath of air in the cold. The Viking, who is a breath of air. Behold,
voice of the north, the fourth of my journey is a circle. I am the air that is inhaled and exhaled forever. The Viking, who is a breath of air. The tether.
I am the wind that rustles the leaves of the oak of the fjord. The core of my existence is a breeze. I am the air of the sky and the lungs of the beast. The Viking, who is a breath of air. The feast.
So if you feel a breath of air that seems to linger in your throat too long, do not ignore the song of the Viking inside. He wants to speak to you from the lungs of your own chest. The Viking, who is a breath of air. The rest.
Breath, jaw, air of the lung. He speaks through the voice of the old and young. He breathes, he stays, he has no days. The breath, jaw, the mane. The rest.
Breath, jaw, air of the lung. He speaks through the voice of the old and young. He breathes, he stays, he has no days. The breath, jaw. The shield made an arm, the empty scabbard. My scabbard is empty, I have no sword to draw. I was a shield maiden, I had a law of steel. Now I am a sheep that hangs at my hip with nothing inside. A shield maiden of the empty scabbard, the tide. A witch stole my sword when I slept in the forest of the north. She sent it forth into the earth. I searched for it for 100 years and never found its blade of light. The shield maiden of the empty scabbard, the night. In battle I fight with a borrowed axe from a fallen man. The plan of my combat is a tool. I pick up a new weapon with every enemy I fell. The shield maiden of the empty scabbard, the help. Last winter a ghost came to me. He held my sword in his hand of bone. The tone of his voice was a whisper. I am the witch who stole your blade. Take it back. The shield maiden of the empty scabbard, the trap. I
took my sword from the ghost, I slid it into my scabbard of leather. The tether of my soul is a steel. I am whole again with my blade of the north at my side. The shield maiden of the empty scabbard, the guide. My sword remembers me. It hums in the scabbard of my hip. The grip of my hand is a reunion. I swing it in the next battle with the strength of a witch's regret. The shield maiden of the empty scabbard, the jet. So if you see a warrior with an empty scabbard at her hip in the field, do not think she has no shield of steel. The ghost of her sword will fly to her hand and cut your throat in the dark. The shield maiden of the empty scabbard, the spark. Empty scabbard, sheath of loss. The shield maiden sword is the ghost of a cross. She waits, she fights, she has no life. The empty scabbard, the night. I am a scratch on the table of the jar's feast hall of oak. I was a jar, I had a cloak of ermine, now I am alive, that the servants scrub with their rags of wool. The jar who is a scratch on the table, the pool. A witch turned me into this when I carved my name in her chair. She said, you will be the heir of the table. You will mark every board you touch with a trace of your knife. The jar who is a scratch on the table, the life. The new jar leads over me. His meat drips in my line of wood. The good of his feast is a stain. I absorb the drops and grow darker each year of his reign. The jar who is a scratch on the table, the pain. Last winter a child traced me with her finger. She asked her mother. The other of the table said, it is a scratch from a knife of a man who lived long ago. The jar who is a scratch on the table, the glow. The mother told the child my story. I was a jar who lost his way. The day of my fall is a legend. I'm a scratch that reminds the children of the old kings. The jar who is a scratch on the table, the strings. I have grown deeper with the years. The new jar carved a rune on the table. The fable of my mark is a holy carved over me, and I am a scratch within a rune of the north. The jar who is a scratch on the table,
curse will make your knife slip and carve a line across your own hand. The jar who is a scratch on the table, the sand.
Scratch jar line of oaking marks the table where the old king spoke. He fades, he stays, he has no days. The scratch jar, the maze.
Scratch jar line of oaking marks the table where the old king spoke. He fades, he stays, he has no days. The scratch jar, the maze.
Our keel sobs, it groans with the weight of 100 years of voyages. The stages of its sorrow are the journeys we have taken. It remembers every storm, the longship of the sobbing keel, the form.
The keel was cut from a tree that witnessed a battle of the old kings. The strings of its wood are a history, it holds the memory of the blood spilled on the forest floor. The longship of the sobbing keel, the door.
The keel weeps water, the sea seeps into its grain. The rain of its sobbing is a leak, we bail the water, and we know it is the grief of the wood. The longship of the sobbing keel, the stood.
Last winter the keel split open, we had to repair it with iron. The siren of its sobbing was a wail, we wrapped the iron bands around its sorrow and held it tight. The longship of the sobbing keel, the fight.
The keel has come, the iron has silenced its sobbing of the past. The cast of its wood is a metal, it is a keel of iron oak that will never weep again. The longship of the sobbing keel, the den.
We missed the sobbing of the keel, it was our lullaby on the sea. The key of our journey is a silence, we sail in a quiet that is empty of the old song of the wood. The longship of the sobbing keel, the good.
So if you hear a keel that sobs like a child in the night of the sea, do not mock it, the plea of the wood is a memory, it is a tree that remembers the axemen who felled it long ago. The longship of the sobbing keel, the woe.
Sobbing keel.